You 2.0, how to live your best life. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can upgrade the way that you think so you can achieve your goals, your dreams, and your ambitions. More of that in a moment. Look, if you're the sort of person that you find yourself in life sometimes questioning, what's the meaning of life? How do I actually get what it is that I want? What's really important to me? Well, then this video is for you. So, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Let's start off by looking at this whole thing around upgrading. How many phones have you got in your house, perhaps, that maybe you've upgraded, or maybe you've passed on things that we upgrade so many things around us, all our technology. Now, I first had a mobile phone in 1991. And you know what? It really didn't work very well. And I actually was a personal trainer. I was working in a gym and it was downstairs and the phone didn't get any reception. It was a complete waste of time. And I actually ended up having to pay to get out of the contract that I was in. A lot has changed since then. We have upgraded our technology to the point where it's almost unrecognizable. Why is it that we really want to upgrade everything outside of ourselves, but when it comes to upgrading how we think and how we feel? In fact, when Steve Jobs first came on stage and showed the little iPod and said, look, you're going to be able to have 1,000 songs on this small little device, a lot of people probably didn't believe him, but boy, when it came out, so many people bought into that technology. They upgraded what they were doing for something else. But when you look at your life, this is what I'm asking you to do, to look at your life and look at the results that you are currently producing. So if we want to upgrade from 1.0 to 2.0 you, it's essential that we first stop and look at where we are and look at the results that we are producing. Now, for most people, they're interested in making advancements and improving in three big areas of their lives. We talk about it a lot on our YouTube videos. It's called the big three. So currently, what are the results that you're producing with your health and energy? Are you where you want to be? I often say, give it a score out of 10. Now, some people might say 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'll say, well, why isn't the number lower? The reason it's not lower is it's important, but it's probably not important enough. Would you like to upgrade your health? Would you like to upgrade your relationships? Would you like to upgrade your wealth, your work, your finances? Most people would, but most people are trying to do it in a way that they've always done it before. If you always do what you've always done, then you'll always get what you've always got. You know what, this video probably should have come with a bit of a warning because it's very philosophical, especially with the question I'm about to ask. Are you ready for the question? It's this. What is the meaning of life? Well, let's take a moment to listen to a guy called Sadhguru as he talks about the meaning of life.
Is there a meaning to it? The greatest thing about life is that there is no meaning to it. This is the greatest aspect of life, that it has no meaning to it and there is no need for it to have a meaning. It is the pettiness of one's mind that it is seek a meaning, because psychologically you will feel kind of unconnected with life if you don't have a purpose and a meaning. People are constantly trying to create these false purposes.
I really like what he says. I think it's important to have meaning, and ultimately the meaning of life is the meaning you give it. And I'd like to give you in this video just a different way of thinking, because we know that people don't change when we tell them what to do. We know that people change when their perspective changes. And I want to give you a different perspective of the meaning of your life. What type of meaning do you think you're giving it at this moment in time? When you look at the results that you're producing, how do you feel about where you are? Are you ready for an upgrade? If you're ready for an upgrade, first off, we've got to think about what is it that is driving you. Now, the most common driving forces that most of us have experienced in our lives, through our family, through our schools, through work, is this whole kind of concept around the carrot and the stick. What does that mean? It means that kind of, if you do this, you get a reward. If you do this and you do it in the wrong way, you get a punishment. And that is a very extrinsic way of moving through the world. And studies have shown And this is so fascinating and it's so robust, the findings, but it's almost hidden from the world in terms of people don't want you to know this. That if you tell someone, look, if you do this, you're going to get a reward, that it actually diminishes motivation over time. If you said to a child, look, I'll pay you to take the rubbish out. As soon as you stop paying the child to take the rubbish out, the child is very unlikely going to do it. If children like to draw and you say, we'll reward you for doing the drawing, what we see eventually is the meaning of it, the real creative side of it, diminishes because they want the reward rather than actually enjoying what it is that they're doing, so they actually get better at what they do. And this is why I'm asking you just to stop and think about where you are in your life right now and what's working for you, and start, rather than looking externally for the life you're looking for, starting to look internally. And this is deep work, and for a lot of people, they don't want to do this. In fact, one study showed that people would prefer an electric shock rather than sitting on their own with their own thoughts. But really, if you look at where most people are in the world and how most people feel about where they are right now, most people feel not quite good enough. Most people feel they're not good enough the way that they are, that they almost need something outside of themselves. Some validation, some acceptance. And so many people are pursuing fame, fortune, hotness, look at me. And even so many of those people that achieve those things, so many of them are maybe in and out of rehab, they've got addictions, they're not actually happy. It seems like so many of us are chasing things that is taking us to a place that we really don't want to go. And I want you now to take a moment to consider what are the needs that we have to get met. Look, I've been working in the field of human behavior and psychology for way over 30 years. I've actually written 20 books. This is one of the books I read, Life DIY, How to DIY Yourself. But one of the first people I came across in the field of personal development was a guy called Tony Robbins. And we'll look at him more in a moment, but he gave a very famous TED talk where he talked about the 6 human needs that all human beings need to get met. Let's take a moment to look at what Tony Robbins has to say.
So very quickly, 6 needs, let me tell you what they are. First one, certainty. Now these are not goals or desires, these are universal. Everyone needs certainty that they can avoid pain, at least be comfortable. Now how do you get it? Control everybody, develop a skill, give up, smoke a cigarette. And if you got totally certain, ironically, even though we all need that, like if you're not certain about your health or your children or money, you don't think about much more. You're not sure the ceiling's gonna hold up, you're gonna listen to any speaker. But while we go for certainty differently, if we get total certainty, we get what? What do you feel if you're certain? You know what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen, what would you feel? Bored out of your mind. So God, in her infinite wisdom, gave us a second human need, which is uncertainty. We need variety. We need surprise. How many of you here love surprises? Say aye. You like the surprises you want. The ones you don't want, you call problems, but you need them. So variety is important. Have you ever rented a video or a film that you've already seen? Who's done this? Why are you doing it? You're certain it's good because you read it before, saw it before, but you're hoping it's been long enough you've forgotten enough there's variety. Third human need, critical, significance. We all need to feel important, special, unique. You can get it by making more money. You can do it by being more spiritual. You can do it by getting yourself in a situation where you put more tattoos and earrings in places humans don't want to know. Whatever it takes. The fastest way to do this, if you have no background, no culture, and no belief in resources or resourcefulness, is violence. If I put a gun to your head and I live in the hood, instantly I'm significant. 0 to 10, how high? 10. How certain am I you're going to respond to me? 10. How much uncertainty? Who knows what's going to happen next? Kind of exciting, like climbing up into a cave and doing that stuff all the way down there. Total variety and uncertainty. And it's significant, isn't it? So you're willing to risk your life for it. So that's why violence has always been around and will be around unless we have a consciousness change as a species. Now you can get significance a million ways, but to be significant, you got to be unique and different. Here's what we really need. Connection and love, fourth need. We all want it. Most people settle for connection because love's too scary. Don't want to get hurt. Who here has ever been hurt in an intimate relationship? Say aye.
Truly fascinating, and I couldn't agree with him more. I believe that when we upgrade ourselves to have a better life, it's a life of more fulfillment. He also says that success without fulfillment is failure. Fulfillment is an inner feeling, and when he talks about the 6 human needs, those first 4, this is where I'd like you to take a few moments to think about, where do you get certainty from? Where do you get your uncertainty from? Where do you get your significance? And where do you get your connection and love? Because if you don't get those 4 needs met in a way that is nourishing and positive to you, it's very hard to get the 2 higher needs met. And if you really want to sum everything up in terms of you 2.0, I would say it's figuring out how you can grow and how you can contribute to the world. Because ultimately, there's only so much that you can enjoy on your own. Giving really is where the getting actually is. And this is where I really want you to think about, who could you grow into? There are so many videos that we've made on our channel, which is about your relationship to your future self. And I often ask this question, what will be the greatest thing you ever do in your life? Is it possible that the greatest thing you will do is who you will grow into, becoming that person? And in becoming that person every day, what you can contribute, what you can give to the world. So, in summary, you 2.0, what would that be like? What is it that you want to stop doing? What is it you want to leave behind? And maybe now you can start to think about going to a place that you've not gone before by getting your certainty met in a way that is good for you. Whether you exercise or you sleep well, you just look after yourself. Your uncertainty, looking for challenges that push you out of your comfort zone a little bit as you start to experience life more. Getting better at your significance in life, feeling significant by actually growing and contributing, and looking for connection in love by being a more loving, kind human being. That's where you can start to grow and contribute. But I actually think that everyone has a unique message. I believe everyone has their own onlyness, stuff that only you can do. Are you ready for the best upgrade you will ever have? And it's not the upgrade of your technology, it's the upgrading of the technology that you live in, your mind, your body, your soul. This is all about your reinvention. And I'm going to invite you now to watch one of the most popular videos on our YouTube channel where you get to meet your future self. It's called How to Reinvent Yourself. So go and watch that video now. Take some positive action as you start your upgrade 2.0 to the better world with you in it.